I'm trying to be really mindful right now. Some shit's happened that has called into question my relationship with anger. And you know what? I'm not even mad. Because as upset as I may be about the way that it was called into question, the subject of the message had validity to it. And to tell you the truth, up to this point, I haven't really given it much thought, or I haven't really liked to give it much thought. But it's probably good that I do. Because it was pointed out to me that especially as of late, having moved across the world to a new country and, you know, started a new life, and even though I'm like the happiest I've ever been, I get angry really easily. And it's not consistent, but it's on a level of frequency that, it's problematic. And it's like, again, I'm going to get into this, but like, anger in it of itself is not a bad thing. But I think it's your relationship with anger, how you choose to express it, and how you, I guess, recover from it, or what you do with it going forward, where you choose to channel it, is important. And I think just like from a baseline, growing up in a Hungarian family in a very, I guess, repressive environment, shall we call it, I was told a lot of things regarding emotions, not just anger. You know, don't be sad. Okay. Like, don't cry. You know, I was basically punished and discouraged from expressing and feeling healthily certain emotions. And I have overcome a lot of that. I've worked very hard, and now's the part where I give myself some credit, because I've worked very hard to get back in touch with myself, get back in touch with my emotions. And I would say I'm pretty fucking great at every other emotion. Like, I've worked hard at that, to be able to feel sadness properly and cry. I've worked really hard to be able to feel happiness and joy. Like, that sounds easy enough, but actually it's not. I used to be so overwhelmed by positivity, and I'm sure many people can relate, that it's like I couldn't even take a fucking compliment. Like, and when you're at that state, like, you can't enjoy life, because if you can't handle a compliment, how are you expected to withstand any sort of positive stimuli, especially when it becomes overwhelming like it is now? Like, I'm fucking making waves out here, and I keep feeling like I'm not doing enough, but the fact of the matter is I'm out here making waves, and like, you know, baby steps, but like, I've overcome a lot. And I'm getting off topic here, but I just want to like toot my own horn for a freaking second, because I'm about to friggin' tear into myself. Okay, so I've done well, but the one thing I haven't worked on, the one thing that I forgot to work on, hey, look, free book. I got bigger fish to fry. There's a free book. The one thing I haven't worked on is anger. Okay, and when I was a kid, anytime I displayed anger, it was immediately shut down. Don't be angry. That's what I keep hearing in my head, is don't be angry. Okay, anytime you tell a kid, and parents, anytime you tell a kid, don't be X, let me just turn up my screen brightness. Oh, thank God it's still recording, okay. Anytime you tell a kid, don't be X, they're gonna be X. Like, bruh. Actual bruh moment. Don't be angry. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a healthy way to tell a child to deal with their emotions. Like, the emotion is there. Find a way to redirect. Find a way to channel it into something positive. But no. I was told don't be angry. So anger was punished. Okay. So growing up, I've internalized that. Don't be angry. Anger is a bad emotion. But here's the thing. Anger in and of itself is not bad. In fact, anger is just an emotion. And anger actually serves a purpose. The role of anger, as far as I understand it, with my limited base knowledge, I ordered a library book. Okay, I'm learning more. But anger, as I understand it, the purpose of anger is to keep things fair and justified, to make sure that you get what you're owed. So when people wrong you, when someone, well, let's just say in a social context, when people wrong you, you get what you're owed. Classic example. I came out to my dad as transgender. He rejected me. Boom. Big angry times, okay? That is my psyche telling me, no, you are worth it, sweetie. You deserve to be loved for who you are. And your father rejecting you is fucking bullshit. So now we're going to get mad so that a reaction happens. You get what you're owed, okay? But anger also serves another purpose, which is to keep you safe. Yeah, get an e-car. I'm serious. Get an electric car. Or walk. Or take public transit. Sorry. Easily distracted. As far as I understand it, like, anger serves a primitive purpose too. Like, the other thing is, like, I'm very sensitive. Highly sensitive. Okay? I hate loud noises. Ergo, I'm yelling at a motorbike. But because of my high sensitivity, my nervous system kind of, like, I can't handle when it goes on the fritz. And that's why for many years I struggled to be happy, truly feel happiness, truly feel sadness. Like, my central nervous system was fucked. But when it comes to fighting, when it comes to aggression, okay, I think even whenever all four of my parents, all two sets of my parents, you know, to some extent displayed anger and to some extent aggression. Like, I'm gonna cross. I hope I don't die. If I die, it's on evidence. Thank you. Fuck New Zealand. Here's a real car first city, eh? I mean Auckland. I mean New Zealand. Car culture here is very car first. Pedestrians later. But yeah. Oh. Yeah, so I mean, I was never physically abused. There was some boundaries that were crossed physically, but that was enough even to scare little old April into a fuss. And I don't want to divulge too much into this part, but what aggression I did experience as a child, not just from my family, but from school kids, from being bullied, and like, it just really fucked me up. It really scared me. And I had never had a way of dealing with that fear. It led me to become afraid. In turn, it led me to become afraid of anger, but more so it led me to become afraid of aggression. And like, fair, like, what human is not afraid of aggression, I guess? Like, I'm not special for that. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize that because, yeah, I took martial arts when I was young, so I know how to fight, but I don't want to. In fact, 99.9% of the time, I will choose flight over fight. And that's a problem because, especially as a transgender woman, I have to get used to the idea that I could be assaulted at literally any moment in time. And you know what? I'm also not special for that either. I'm about to start walking up Mount Eden, aka Mungafau. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mungafau. So my breathing will get heavier and more labored. But yeah, as a transgender woman, I have to accept the fact that I could be assaulted at literally any point in time. And you know what? That goes for cis women. That goes for non-binary people. That goes for everyone. Like, world's a scary place, okay? So, not saying I'm special or anything. I'm just saying there are increased, but you know what? Let's draw attention to the fact that there are trans women are at a higher, and trans men are at a higher rate of fucking violence on the street. Okay? Of just being assaulted. I know, I've lived it. Haven't been assaulted yet, but people do be trying. Okay? People do be trying. So, flight is not always an option, I'm learning. Which sucks, because I don't want to fight. But I guess I have to learn. I guess I have to get used to that. And whatever. I'm not complaining. Self-defense. This is a good thing. I mean, no, it's not a good thing that trans women are getting assaulted. Not a good thing that women get assaulted on a consistent daily basis. On an aggressively alarming scale. Not a good thing, but whatever. It's just the world we live in, so I just have to get used to it. So, what does that mean with anger? It just means that for a long time, that fed into my rejection of anger. Because anger equals aggression equals bad, anger equals bad. Just avoid it. Avoid it all. And I guess this whole sort of conversation / realization / de-actualization / I was going to keep going, but joke fell apart. I guess this whole thing sort of came about. I went to a punk show with my close friend yesterday, and I fucking hate punk shows. I do. I really do. And power to you if you're a punk, because I can see what you're going for, and I like the attitude. But, again, because of my aversion to aggression, anger, violence, not my scene. And also, I'm sensitive and hate loud noises, and it's all noise. And also, I like my rhythm. I mean, I like my music to have rhythm, okay? And I'm not weird for thinking that. If you enjoy it, good for you. And I don't, this isn't about trying to convince me about the punk scene, because I see the merits. Trust me, I was actually vibing, okay? I was vibing, and I can vibe with pretty much anything. I can get into anything. I gotta stop, catch my breath, and lose some layers, because climbing and hot. But, you know, I even said this before the event, and honestly, granted, I'm only there because I'm trying to push myself outside of my comfort zone. And, you know, all my life, I've set these rules for myself. Like, I will never pierce my ears. Hello. I will never get a tattoo. Hello. Oh. Hello. Right? Scared of needles, scared of piercing, etc., etc. Had I listened to all these rules that I set for myself, which are based in, I don't know, fear, that sensitivity thing, like, I don't know, things are just much more important for me, which is another thing I have to weed out eventually, because this whole sensitivity thing leads me to believe that I'm, like, special, more special than other people, which is fair, because I am, but I feel like it diminishes other people. But that's not my point. 1,000 points. I digress, and I digress, and I digress. Where I'm going with this is, if I had listened to every rule I had set for myself, I wouldn't even be here in New Zealand. I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living now as April, as a trans woman, as just like my general slay self. Like, I wasn't making art consistently in Canada. I wasn't like happy with my life, because I was so used to just living in the shit. Living in the fucking safe-ass world I'd created for myself. So yeah, I gotta push myself outside of my comfort zone. And so the whole thing with the punk show is, I did that because I thought, my only reason I don't like punk shows is because of childhood trauma regarding punk shows and feeling excluded from them because it's not my scene, and then going and being really overwhelmed because it's just loud noises and mosh pits, and I hate loud noises and mosh pits. So yeah, I thought, maybe let's revisit this. I thought, you know, I met some cool friends for the first time. They invited me to this show. Be adventurous. Go. See if the anxieties in your head that are just trying to keep you safe, and sometimes they're a little too overactive, see if they hold up. Someone's coming in. I feel self-conscious. I hope they don't assault me. But guess what? I am ready. I'm freaking ready for it, because I spent all day reprogramming myself from flight to fight. So I'm fucking ready. I did chin-ups today. I'm fucking ready. I'm gonna do chin-ups every day. Let's fucking go, baby. But yeah, the whole point of going to the punk show was, let's see, let's push myself outside of my comfort zone. And I'm realizing now, and I will circle back to this, not only do I need like an anger plan, like a plan of what to do with my anger, a numerated, well thought out, methodical, logistical plan for my anger. Not only do I need that written out so I can refer to it, but I just need a plan for pushing myself outside of my comfort zone in general, because it's cool and all, and most of the time it ends up working great, but when it backfires, I'm put into a state of fight or flight, and I need to be able to handle that response, handle being put in that situation, which I consciously make it the choice to do. Sorry guys, getting really close. Whatever, people are allowed to be out, I'm out. I just need a plan. I just need a plan for when I push myself outside of my comfort zone. If things backfire, if I'm feeling triggered, if I'm feeling unsafe, I just need to leave. And after that shit went down yesterday at the punk show, I should have just left, because what I ended up doing was sticking around with my friends because I felt unsafe to leave. And I ended up hurting them, you know, and like, I hate to acknowledge it, but that's where I fucked up, you know. I felt hurt by my friend too, and that's something I can address with him, but I fucked up. You know, I let my anger loose on them. I kind of broke down, and I felt like they could have been more supportive, but ultimately it's my responsibility to control that. So that's on me. And I guess the point is, I just need a plan for when I push myself outside of my comfort zone. Because this is what happened. We were at the punk show. Everything's going great. I'm vibing. My friend asks me, do you want to go to the front? No, I don't. That's my comfort zone. Like, that's outside my limits, my safety limits, because I know what happens at the front. It's fucking moshing. So he goes to the bathroom, and I thought about it, and I'm like, well, April, you made it this far. Look at you. You're at a punk show, and the back is kind of boring. Like, people are stiff as a board. So yeah, go for it. Comes out of the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go to the front. And we're at the front, and what do you know? People start moshing. And I already said before, I don't know, like, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to, like, the plan, the comfort zone plan. It's like, I said before going, if moshing starts, if I'm around moshing, I'm gone. I'm out. Dip, set, cut. Dip, set, cut. Okay? And, yeah, it started. And immediately, like, people were already invading my personal space, which I fucking hate. Like, I really hate when I'm at a concert and people are, like, within the, like, half-foot bubble. I'm talking, like, I know it's packed. I know it's a public event. I know people are wasted. Not cool, by the way. Alcohol's not cool, but whatever. Another topic for another day. I get it. I'm not complaining about being in a public space and other people being close to me. But do you know that, like, very personal bubble? The, like, intimate one? The one that's, like... Let me just see. I'd say it's even less than, like, half a foot. I'd say it's, like, 4 inches. You know when someone's, like, 4 inches close to you? Does that not bug anyone else? Like, does that not bother other people like the way it bothers me? Because when people do... Like, this is now the second concert I've been to here in New Zealand. And it's not just a New Zealand thing, okay? Like, I'm just standing and people are like... Okay, wait, let me see if I can... let me see if I can demonstrate this. So, you're me, okay? This is where they are. All right, that's hard because you're not on the floor. It's more like this, right? Say you're me and I'm like No, this is the best example. Because it's like this. All you see is their back. I hope I can't see the shot, but just imagine this, all right? You know what I'm talking about. When someone's like really, like purposely in front of you. What the fuck is that shit about? Can you be mindful of your surroundings, please? I know it's a punk show and it's not very mindful. It's not very punk to be mindful about your surroundings, but for fuck's sakes. Anyway, my fault, I guess, for being at the front. Whatever. I digress. The moshing begins. This guy fucking pushes into me. I'm out. Like, I'm out. Okay? I dart for the exit. I've never left a building quicker. And I had two options in that moment. And I felt the first one. It flashed through my mind, hyperspeed. Like this. I love snapping. Snap, snap. I love snapping. I felt the first option immediately through my mind. And it was clock this fucking guy. Like, not mosh back. Like, fucking punch this guy in the face. Fucking smash his teeth in. Fucking throat chop this asshole. Like, what the fuck? Again, I'm at a punk show in a place where most likely people are going to start moshing. So I'm asking for it. So again, this is on me. Like, all right, I'm not trying to deconstruct punk or moshing. All right. I just know it's not my thing. And I put myself in that situation anyway. So I just feel kind of stupid. But yeah, but my immediate reaction was to punch this guy. And, you know, at this stage in my life, which is yesterday, I'm not comfortable with violence. I don't want to fight. I don't want to hurt anyone. Ironic, because I ended up hurting my friends emotionally, but I don't want to hurt anyone. So I dipped. I ran. And then I'm outside. And my friend is outside with me, my other friend. And I'm in fight or flight. And this is the moment, I think, here's the key moment, right? This is where I should have isolated myself. Something that came into effect here was that I was wearing this hyper feminine pink dress, and as much as I like to pretend I'm comfortable in public wearing hyper femme things, because I'm getting better at it, it's just like really scary because this is a new country, and even if I were doing it back in Toronto, I'm gonna hate crime myself here, but it's for the purpose of the way I feel like society sees me. But a man in a pink dress, like, is just ripe at night, is just ripe for the fucking assaulting. So I really would have isolated myself, and I should have, but I did not feel safe doing so. So I think I have to take that into account into my, like, outside of my comfort zone plan and my anger plan, but just, yeah, all this is going through my head. And so I'm sitting there with my friend, who is more of a newer friend, still getting to know each other, but he's a cool guy. Love him. And the friend who, like, kind of encouraged me to, well, he asked me if I wanted to go up there. He like thrives in the mosh pit. He loves fighting. I guess his nervous system isn't as sensitive as mine. Well, that's demeaning, but I guess he just doesn't, it doesn't affect him the same way as it does me. Okay, we're cut from two different fabrics. Same human emotions, cut from different fabrics. So, you know, he comes out all sweaty and he's thriving, and, like, I'm really happy for him that this is a good outlet for him to let loose his anger. Because he explained that to me, and I was like, okay, true. I guess I didn't really understand it before, like what moshing is about or what punk is about and what that's all about. But I understand now. It's a really good way for some people, and some of them, I assume, are nice people. But it's a great place for some people to let loose their anger. I guess with no consequences. And the way he was explaining it is like people support each other. So, you know, somebody pushes you and you push them back. And someone will always catch you. He said it was like okay to punch people, like, because I was like, I wanted to clock the guy, and he was like, yeah, you could have. Everyone would have supported you. And I was like, really? See, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to get punched in the face, but here I'm digressing again. Mosh pit, not for me. I know that now. Maybe one day I can get there, but I know I shouldn't have been there. Lesson learned. But anyway, this is the point at which shit goes down. And you know what? I think forever in my life, I'll be grateful for this moment. As much as my ego hates to say this, as much as my pride is chipped. I hate admitting this, but I'm going to admit it now to strangers on the internet and eventually to him when I have to reconcile. But I will always remember that moment as a key moment in my life. He said, you know, I've noticed that you've been not really angry lately. The way he said it was like, I noticed that you've been getting angry really easily lately. I don't think that you express your anger in healthy ways. Or he said, I don't think you have healthy outlets for your anger. And I wish he had said that to me at a different time. Like, I think I don't take issue with what he said. I take issue with how he said it. And when he said it, because I was in fight or flight. And when he said that, it made me reflect, because I'm a deeply introspective person. I know exactly what's going on with me. And when I don't, it alarms me. So I probe it to shit. And so when he said that, it started clicking. Holy shit. I have been really explosive lately, like a powder keg. But not all the time. So it hasn't seemed like a problem. It's been like, 2 or 3 weeks of solid happiness, and then something happens and boom, explosion. And then I have a really hard time regulating. It takes me a really long time to calm back down again. And then things go back to normal without me thinking anything of it, really. Without me like probing my anger and response to anger and coming up with solutions going forward to address when that anger comes up. He said, and fuck him for being right. He said, if you don't control your anger controls you. And he's kind of the CEO of that. Like, I've known him for 10 plus years and he's my best friend. And I know what he's talking about. I've seen it myself. Except the whole time I was just like, oh, LOL, like, doesn't affect me. Oh, okay, like, good for you, sweetie. And I'm just here being like, I'm fine, I'm good. Look how happy I am, I'm fine. But all that time I should have heeded his advice, and I should have watched his journey and been like, oh, I wonder where my journey interlaps with this. But should-haves, could-haves, would-haves, yada, yada, yada. His words really stuck with me, and I was in a state of fight or flight, so I kind of began to spiral. No, I hardcore began to spiral. I fucking spun out because I began to think, when I first came here, some shit went down with one of our best friends who was visiting here, and I got really angry, and I exploded. And it took me a really long time to calm down. And up to that issue happening, I think anger was building in many ways from big to small, not just these specific big explosions, but these explosions happen because I don't address the small bits of anger that bottle up, and then I don't address the big bits of anger bottling up. Because again, up to this point in my life, anger is bad. I don't want to hurt people, so therefore I shouldn't be angry. Flawed explanation, but that's what I truly believed up until yesterday. So that happened. And then another thing happened. Big explosion, calm down, go back to normal, not question anything. Then there was some fucking shit that happened before I even came to New Zealand, where one of my best friends XXX'd with my sister, and it was very messy, and it hurt a lot of people involved. And to this day, my sister and I don't agree on what happened, and that's fine. We've had to put this issue to bed to preserve our relationship moving forward. One of those things you just will forever agree to disagree on. Whatevs. That's life. LOL. Moving on. But a lot of people were hurt in that event, specifically the partners of the two people involved. And I deeply cared about both of them. I still do. One of them I maintain a relationship with, and it makes it quite tricky, but I make it work because I care about that person. And the person I no longer speak with, it just can't happen because of the conditions. Regardless, digressing. That happened, and I exploded at my best friend, and I sent him a lot of really angry voice memos where I just straight up tore into him, said shit that I've been meaning to say for a really long time, and I don't know, tough love, but, you know, I've learned about addiction that tough love doesn't solve anything. I mean, I don't have time to get into like tough love and addictions, but yeah, let's just say it was not the best solution. I did what I had to do to get my anger out. And I feel justified in my actions, but even looking back now with the knowledge I've gained from the last day, like, I kind of wish that I had dealt with my anger in a more healthy way so that it didn't come out all at once like that. I did what I had to do to get rid of that anger, but it was not done in the most healthiest of ways, and I regret it. I regret that part. I know he still cares about me, and I still care about him, and he damaged me first, and we were damaging each other, so whatever. Messy situation. One day it might be solved. Moving on. That is the second incident since I came to New Zealand of extreme anger, like big blow up times. Okay. Fast forward a few weeks. April's living her best life. We're out here balling. Okay. Finally, after being out as trans for 1 month to my best friends I just met here in New Zealand, my mom, my stepdad, my sister, bless their souls and hearts for accepting me. It's time to come out to my Hungarian dad because I can no longer live with not being me. Straight up to my dad. We have a history of not being authentic with each other. It's a very surface level relationship. He's very avoidant, and it's hard for him to get into shit. So you can imagine that when little old dead name came around and was like, I'm a woman, my name is April, I'm trans, he was like, WTF. It was hormones specifically that fucking bugged him out. And his exact words to me were, and I quoteth, and contradiction incoming, by the way, and he's a lawyer, so he should know better, but I quoteth, you will never be a real woman. Hormones will make you an ugly woman. So first of all, which is it? Either I'm not a real woman or I'm an ugly woman. But again, silly Hungarian conservative logic, whatever. We've kind of resolved things, but it's still not perfect. Point being, I thought I was chill with it. I was like, oh, don't worry. I knew this was going to happen. Just my emotions trying to safeguard themselves. D-dubs, I knew this was going to happen. I've carved out a lot of patience for this issue specifically. I kind of want to go up to Mount Eden, like to the top now, because I'm kind of the halfway point because there's good lighting here. But I want to hit the peak because I feel like the story's getting more intense. We're getting deeper here, so we should be moving up. This is the view, by the way. It's dark as shit. I don't care. I chose to come here because this is my sacred ground. Well, it's not my sacred ground. It's the Maori's sacred ground, but I thank them for letting me stand on it because I come here to deal with my shit, and it's actually really therapeutic and helpful because I love the view of Auckland, and I feel really blessed to live on this land. So just a little land acknowledgement for the people who fucking own this land, by the way. Manga fau. Okay? Fuck white people. Anyway. Yeah, so daddy was mean to me, LOL. And I thought I could handle it better. I really thought I was more prepared for it. I carved out a lot of patience for him. That's what I told myself. I told my therapist. Turns out that patience that I carved out, all that patience, lasted one day. One day, because the next day he called me back. And the next day he freaking called me back. And he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to fucking talk about it. After we had this heavy-ass conversation, this intense-ass conversation. Cool lighting. The next day, all he wanted to talk about was what my plans were in New Zealand, which I've told them for 1,000 fucking times. Oh, look, see the anger. I told him 1,000 fucking times what my plans were. I'm in New Zealand to get a 2-year working holiday visa. Après vous, wait, not after you. Après ça, after that. Like, residency, citizenship. I want to live here. This place fucking rocks. Aotearoa. I love this place. I've told him that 1,000 times. And I told him, like, I'm making lots of friends, going to an art school. I'm doing well, Dad. Father, I'm happy. But no, he didn't want to talk about my transgender problem. He didn't want to talk about my issues. All he wanted to fucking talk about was surface level shit, and it pissed me off. And when I confronted him about it, he's like, "Ooh, I don't want to talk about it." Fine, Dad. Don't worry. Your fucking daughter is just absolutely beside herself because she feels like her father doesn't love her. But yeah, cool. Let's not talk about it. And so I thought that was fine too. Do you notice the pattern of like, thing happens, I think I'm fine. Anyway, moving on. Like, not a healthy pattern, bitch. Like, get your head in the game. Identify, label the feeling. Okay, unpack it, get into it. What are we gonna do with this anger? I'm able to do this with every other emotion but anger. Anger is my black sheep, so now we're dealing with it. Okay? Then, father calls my sister. They talk mad shit about me behind my back. That's where I draw the fucking line. You have something to say, you fucking say it to my face. Don't come after my sister. And by the way, separate thing, don't come after my sister, because as much as she is her own adult woman now, adult woman, reminds me of Posey Parker. As much as she is her own fucking adult, she will always be my little sister, and I have big sister syndrome, okay? I can't help it. Maybe that's something I need to work on too, and I do. But, bruh, the protective instincts kick in. I'm mad. No, I'm pissed. No, I am fucking roaring, okay? You talk shit about me behind my back, fuck that. You come say it to my face. You have something to say, you say it to my face. Don't talk shit behind my back. And don't fucking come after my sister. The two things, okay? I got 2 rules for life, all right? But yeah, that's cowardly shit. So I fucking exploded. And when I say explode, motorbike on Mangafao. There's a motorbike here. Cars aren't allowed up here, but I guess bikers are. Yo, I'm a chill till this guy dips. I'm not fucking with this. I fucking hate motorbikes. Let's just wait till this man leaves. Fight or flight. I'm ready to fight. Y'all, we reprogramming out here. I'm ready to fight. It's nothing. I know it's nothing. I don't have to fight, but I'm ready. It's a guy and his girlfriend. Cute. Except wait, no it's not. Not cute at all. Loud and pathetic and annoying. LMAO. Sorry you can't see me right now. I'm using the selfie camera and it is dark. Deal with it. I'm almost at the summit where there is precisely no light. So maybe I will have to turn the flash on. Regardless. Where was I? Before the fucking bike came along? Fucking devils of society. I sound like a boomer, but goddamn do I fucking hate motorbikes. And nothing against the biker community, LOL, nothing against the punk community. It's just not my thing. Anyway, sister, don't come after me, don't talk shit. Right, I exploded. And this is probably the 3rd or 4th explosion by this point, if you're keeping track at score. At home? Keeping track at home. Keeping score at home. 3rd or 4th explosion. 4th, I'd say 4th explosion. This one's bad. This one's really bad. I'm watching a movie with my flatmates and I peace. I am like, nope, I need to go. I need to leave. I came here to Mangafao, actually, to Mount Eden. I came right here. I walked. It's an hour walk, and then I went up to the summit. And the whole way, I'm screaming into my phone. I'm telling my parents what I really... Okay, we'll wait for this helicopter. No, it's okay. I'm not like bearing my soul here or anything. Don't worry. I tell my Hungarian parents what I really think about them. Like, what I really think about them. All the shit that's been building up over the past 26 years. I have to pee. Maybe I'll use the bathroom on camera. That's weird. I'll turn the camera away, but I'll keep talking. Oh, that's so weird. Maybe I'll cut it out. I'm going to cut it out. I didn't want to do any editing on this, but I'll cut it out. Besides, I'm recording a video in one of these bathrooms because I can really fucking get into it here. I don't have to be worried about getting loud, but that's after I finish this one. My point being, Oh. Cool. That's gonna be a good place to keep talking for a bit. There's some good lighting. But anyway, let's go potty. Oh my god, you know those videos that are like, get ready with me, this is potty with me, except gross. Locked. There can't be someone in there, right? Do they lock these after a certain hour? Oh, that's not good. That's really bad. What the hell? I've been here late at night before and they don't lock them usually. Is it because it's a weekend? What the hell? That's so annoying. And now I just touched every single one. Gross. Whatever. I'll record the video here. I don't even think it'll be final anyway. Besides the point. I'm going to have to do the very unladylike thing of peeing in a bush. Not my fave. Whatever. At least it'll be easy to cut out. Or not. Ugh. Sucks. Ruined my plans. I could just stop recording, but can't be fucked. And now I just recorded myself doing a crime. I hate that. Ugh, what a bad look. No holds barred though, am I right? Should we stick with this lighting for a little bit? Because we're nearing the summit, so we're getting close into it. Explaining my history of anger. My most recent outbursts. So ooh, it smells like potty. Wonder why. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing it here. It's gross. I told my Hungarian parents what I really think of them. Oh, there's people. I told my Hungarian parents what I really think of them. Like, I got into it. No holds barred. All the shit that's been piling up for the last 26 years. I told them. And you know what? Again, similar thing like that happened with my friend. You know, there's really no lighting up there. It's gonna be dark as fuck, but I don't know, whatever. Let's just go up there. No, I've been up there. It's real scary. Maybe let's just park it here for a sec. Yeah, I'll just go up there for my own personal, like, thing, and then I'll show you the view later, because it's cool. I told my Hungarian parents what I really think of them, and yeah, same thing as what happened with my best friend, right? Like, I'm happy that I said all those things. I'm happy that I got it off my chest because it's stuff that needed to be said, regardless of how angry I was, regardless of how many you statements I used. It was me unloading everything that had been put onto me from a young age. It was stuff I felt I was owed. It was emotions that, it was, you know, a quarter of a century of emotion, unvalidated emotions being validated. So I said my piece. I exploded. Not the best way, but honestly, I fucking stand by it. They needed to hear that shit. They needed to be torn into. Fuck them. Fuck them for invalidating me and my sister. Fuck them for emotionally abusing me and my sister. Not cool. So, yeah, that happened. Came right here to Mangafao, Mount Eden, and I let him have it. But again, huge explosion. It took me a really long time to regulate and calm down. Oh, it's so dark and scary. Took me a really long time to calm down. Wait. Maybe I'll turn the camera around. Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's really blinding, but we get into the summit. We get into the scary shit. That's really bright, but whatever. So yeah. Oh, that's so bad. I can't see shit. Maybe like this. Like that. It's tiring. Fuck it, it looks cool. And I feel like, you know, earlier I was in the dark, surrounded by red and anger, and that sort of represented my being in the dark and disillusionment about my anger, and now I'm sort of being illuminated by light, and look at me, I'm unable to see where I'm going because of my irises, but at least I'm illuminated and I am knowledgeful. Okay, I literally have been stuck on this one aspect of the story for so long, but my point being is just another explosion in a series of explosions. And diaphragm pinching, that was the last one in a long time. I think that was my last explosion. And you know, recently, oh man, this light is giving me a migraine. I think I'll park it here for a sec. I can hear people at the summit. I don't really want to go up there and bitch. I'm just gonna park here. Besides, I'm tired. Can't tell the story. I'm stuck on a specific plot point. Look, moon. Look, moon. Just kidding. It's a street lamp. Look, cricket. Okay. Continue telling the story. Getting tired. That was my last explosion in a really long time. And I think up until then, that was a month ago. A lot of shit has happened since then that has made me angry. Excuse me, oh my God. A lot of shit has happened since then that has made me angry. And I've not been processing it. As I don't. I get angry. I bury it. Not good. And I have a backpack. I'm kidding. Okay, this has been 10 minutes of me just not telling the story. Unwatchable. JK. You watch for the distractions. You feel validated if you have ADHD. Yeah. I get angry. I don't acknowledge it. Bury it up. Cool. Where do I go from here, I guess? And there's people coming. They're gonna think I'm weird for just lying down here. But there's good lighting here. All right. Hi. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just chilling. There's good lighting here. Good night. Embarrassing. Anyway. Yeah. I guess I'm really tired and I should probably wrap this up. But that's my history of anger. And I think just looking back on how I've dealt with anger very recently and how I've dealt with anger my whole life, it's similar. It's the same pattern. I'm going to change that pattern. I'm going to break that cycle. How am I going to do that, you ask? Excellent question. That is a great way to move forward. A tangible, concrete action plan. And we're going to call it, ready for text, April's action plan. Number 1, identify the feeling. Identify the anger. What is it you are angry about? Is it big? Is it small? What is the source of it? If I had to do it, let's practice. Put it into practice right now. Big things I am angry about. I'm angry about what happened at the punk show. Cricket. My friend was right, but I am just angry because I felt personally attacked at a time when I was in fight or flight. That's all. I'm angry because somebody pushed me and I didn't push back and I ran. So I had to deal with the consequence of that. I had to carry that anger. And yes, I took a long walk that night and screamed into my phone, which I guess is one of the healthy outlets. That feels like one of the later steps in the thing is finding healthy outlets. But one of the things I do to get out my anger, and I don't know how effective it is, so we can revisit this as a strategy, but is make voice memos. I feel like this video format actually is much healthier to me. I'm enjoying it more. I feel better about it. And I think whether I'm going to be posting it to YouTube, and regardless of whether people are watch it or not, I think just having a little video internet diary is going to make me happy. That makes me happy. Being able to open up to this level to strangers on the internet, cool. Very cool. A YouTube channel? I've always wanted a YouTube channel, and I've tried several attempts before, and you know, hit and miss, but you know, give it a shot. See what happens. But yeah, so what was I going on about? Fucking video. Oh yeah, so I'm angry about the way that he said it, but ultimately he was right, and it led me to this moment to question stuff. So you know, just a little bit of hurt feelings. No biggie, nothing that can't be solved. I'm angry about that. I'm angry about the guy who pushed me. Like, if I ever see that fucking guy again, I know we were at a punk show and I consensually moshed, but I'm going to smash his fucking teeth in. Not actually, but I'd love to. Oh no, YouTube, do not incite threats. That was a joke, okay? Comic. That was a joke. Okay. It was a joke. This whole video is about anger. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm obsessing. So step 1, identify. Oh, okay. I'm still identifying. Other than that, like, my aunt and uncle from Hungary. Oh, bug. Oh, bug. I'm on the ground. What do I expect? Other than that, I'm angry that, like, my dad is still kind of skirting around the whole trans thing. Like, I think he wants to pretend it's less of a thing than it is, but it's pretty fucking central to my identity, and the less he acknowledges it, the more pissed off I get. Like, we wouldn't have to spend every video call being like, I'm a woman, if he just, like, actively acknowledged it on a more consistent basis. Then we can go back to talking about whatever the fuck he wants. I'm good with that. I'm okay to have just a surface level relationship like that with my dad. I've accepted that's all I will get from him. That and his money, which is how he shows his love, because money is his financial language. Supporting me financially is his love language, because he cannot access tender emotions. So I've made my bed with that. But I'm angry at that. Like, I deserve to be acknowledged by my own freaking dad. Oh, great, more people. I'm on the sidewalk. They're gonna, like, walk by me. All right, you ready for this alpha move? Just maintain the posture. I mean, I'm on the ground, so technically they're the alphas, but... Hello.
Hello.
So weird. I'm weird. I'm angry that my father doesn't acknowledge me. My grandma, at least, is trying her very best. She calls me April, and I think that's very sweet. But obviously skirting around the whole woman thing, it's okay. You know, my aunt and uncle send me a birthday text every year, and they're not very close with me. We're not very close. We barely see each other. When we do go to Hungary, it's very surface level. But, you know, I do notice patterns. I'm very observant. And one thing I notice is every year for decades, they send me a text saying, hey, dead name, happy birthday, and then some wise Hungarian sage wisdom. This year, I got, happy 26th birthday. 26 is a serious year. The fuck does that mean? So I responded in a very surface level way, and I said, thank you, LOL. Yeah, I'm like closer to 30 than I am to 20, ho ho ho. And then I thought about it, especially after all that shit happened with the punk show. I thought about it. And while I'm just sort of doing this sort of anger archiving and unearthing, I thought, I'm quite angry about that. There was an intentional choice to not use my dead name, which, like, props. But they didn't use April. They didn't use my name. So, and you know what? to be fair, like, I haven't told them any of this. I haven't come out to them because, to me, our relationship is so non-existent that I find it, I just didn't think it was worth my time. But you know what? That's some avoidant shit right there. And as much of as anxious, preoccupied as I am, I have avoidant tendencies. And I think I genuinely, this is going to sound like I'm like big brain, but like, the reason I think I'm avoidant is not because I actively choose to avoid things, but because so many thoughts race through my head. My mind is constantly racing, organizing, categorizing, defining, pondering, that I just don't have time to like think about certain things. Like, they will cross my mind and I will get distracted, or I will be like, I don't want to think about that, which I guess is just avoidance. So I'm going to like skirt I see what I'm doing here, the like, I'm too smart to be avoidant thing, but let's just call that what it is. Ego. Sorry, sweetie, you're watching an Aries on camera. What do you expect? Anyway, I was being avoidant about it, but if I'm being TBH, it freaking bothers me. It bothered me that I have no relationship with my aunt and uncle, very surface level. And then they chose to do something like that. Very intentional. Very intentionally being like, leaving out my name. I just feel invisible. So I did not send them a very angry voice memo, but I sent them a wall of text that was actually quite meaningful. And I thought very grounded and like, just sort of being like, hey, like, this is what's going on with me. This is why I never told you. I never felt safe in my own body in my own country. I never wanted male cologne. For birthday presents, I wanted Swarovski and flowers. And I'm waiting for the response. But, you know, see, healthy way of dealing with anger. Thanks, me. The ground is seeping the heat out of my body, but I don't give a shit because this is where I will end the video, lying here under this beautiful streetlight. I mean, I say that, but I'm getting really cold. Oh, it's because I'm not wearing my sweater. My jumper, as they call it. Jumper. Not sweater, jumper. Okay, so to recap. Angry about the punk show. I will solve that. Angry about my aunt and uncle. Done. I'm angry at the world. This is the biggest one. I'm angry at the world and how the world treats trans people. And this is a very big topic to like bite into, but I'm just going to try and scratch the surface here for a second. I wrote a poem about it today, and you can find it probably after this video because I'm going to go record it in front of the bathrooms. But, bloody mozzies are out. I am upset because this whole part of so much of this, and actually this is probably a good time to sit up maybe even a little bit. So much of this has to do with this anger thing, like a huge, fucking lighting. So much of this anger thing has to do with my relationship to it, right? That's it entirely. And like, as a man, you're allowed to be angry. As a trans woman, you are not allowed to be angry because women are just not allowed to be angry in general. And with trans women specifically, if you raise your voice, you are a man. Let's not kid ourselves here. That's how the world sees us, okay? And I know it starts with us seeing ourselves in a different way, but how can you expect us to think anything different? You know, we put on these cute little femme personas, we put on our dresses, and not trying to hate crime us here, but I'm just trying to talk real for a second because this is my experience. But you know, like, the second I raise my voice, the second I get angry about something, I'm a man. Aggression is male, I guess. I don't know, fuck the binary. But, I mean, okay, multiple digressions here. But you see what I'm getting at, right? So it's complicated. I find my identity and relationship with anger called into question because when trans women get angry, the world sees us as men. And you know, the world sees us as men in general, and it's fucking frustrating. That's why I'm happy we ran stupid fucking Posey Parker out of this goddamn country. And I swear to God, if she comes back, we'll do the same thing again. Trans women are women, straight up. But that's not the point, but it's a good point. forget where I was going with this. Identity, my relationship with anger as a trans woman. Oh, I don't want to give trans women a bad name by being angry. And I think that's why it's important for me to check my anger. But if I'm out in a dress and I'm screaming into my phone or making a video and if I'm venting anger in a way, I have to be conscious of how that anger comes off. And I guess this just goes for anyone because cis, trans, non-binary, however you identify, whatever background you come from, however old you are, unless you're a little kitty. But I guess, and this is what my friend is, this is the thesis. We have arrived at the thesis, so to speak. If you don't control anger, it controls you. But more importantly, how you release anger is important. How you identify with it is important. Because you can't just bottle it up. We know that. Duh. But how you release it is important. And I guess I'm just very self-conscious about how I release it as a trans woman because I don't want to give trans women a bad name. I don't want to be seen as an angry man in a dress. So that complicates things. But I think in general, finding healthy ways to vent my anger is important. And so we circle back to April's anger plan. Step 1 was identify. We've identified some things. And I guess I could throw some small things in there, but I feel like I've already dragged the identify category on for way too long. But I guess we're talking small things. What am I angry about on a micro level? I don't know. I'm hungry and I'm angry that I feel like there's nothing open and I'm going to go to McDonald's and it's going to be like drive-through only. Yeah, anyway, we can move on. I will identify small and big things going forward that make me angry on a consistent basis. It'll just be sort of my daily, weekly, emotional upkeep. So step 1 is identify. Step 2 is, I guess, address. What other feelings does it evoke? Address. What other feelings does it evoke? What can be done about it in a practical way? What are practical solutions to this anger? I'm developing this on the spot right now, so it might be a little flawed, but yeah, I guess step 2 would be address it. And then I guess step 3 would be outlet, express. How, now that you've identified it and you have, well, I guess this is different too. If you're feeling angry, part of my anger plan needs to be removing myself from the situation, which is something I failed to do yesterday until it was too late. And it's something I failed to do. Yeah, I guess this would be if you're actively angry too, not just, I think there's 2 things at play here. There's immediate anger, what you do when you feel it, in which case immediate anger. I'll get back to you when I solidly think out. I'm just brainstorming, but identify, address. Immediate anger, isolate yourself. At least for me, remove yourself from the situation, try to calm down. I think I'm good at that. I think I take too long to remove myself because I have abandonment issues, man. I don't like being, that's part of why I didn't leave yesterday. I don't like being alone, but I love being alone. I love being by myself, but I don't like leaving a group of people, and I don't like saying goodbye. It makes me sad, but I'm getting better at it. So yeah, removing myself. Calming down, and then revisiting. That's a pretty basic, immediate anger plan. I think long-term in terms of, my issue is more bottling shit up. My issue is, letting things build up. So I know how to deal with like immediate anger now more solidly, so I don't hurt other people in the moment. And I want to say I've actually been pretty good at that. Yesterday was a shit example, but now that I know the importance of removing myself, not just from angry situations, but from situations in which I feel unsafe because I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone, remove yourself from the situation, okay? And part of that is challenging my fight and flight response because I'm scared to remove myself sometimes because I don't want to be alone in public because I'm scared of fighting, but I'm not scared anymore. Like I am, but I'm ready to fight. I'm going to do pull-ups every day. I don't want to look more masculine, but I gotta do pull-ups. I gotta be ready to punch a bitch out. I gotta be ready to fight because people will assault me. I'm trans. It'll happen. I don't want to manifest because that's terrible, but I just have to be ready. Terrible thing to manifest, but I just have to be ready. Oh. I think long-term, identifying when I'm feeling anger, identify when I'm bottling it up, address it, look it straight in the face, find practical solutions, things that I can do to alleviate that anger, be assertive, be communicative, express my anger before it gets to the explosive part, and if possible, waiting a little bit to just take the sting out of it so I'm not attacking anyone, I'm not using you statements. Perfect example, when I talked to my friend who got me to thinking about all this stuff and in effect riled me up because we do that to each other. We rile each other up and then we go off. It's a history thing. I'm doing that now. I told him I need space, which was me being communicative and assertive. I'm taking space from him, like I'm going to get home late and I probably won't talk to him tonight because it's bedtime and I'm hungry. Opposite order. But yeah, tomorrow I'll address stuff and it'll be good. So yeah, being assertive and communicative and taking the sting out of what you mean to say so it's not so toxic. Not even toxic, just like aggressive and in your face. Using I statements, making your emotions heard and felt, etc. Is there anything else? I feel like it's a pretty good start. And just identify, address, communicate. Yeah. IAC, baby. Identify, address, communicate. And I feel like, and vent. Vent in a safe and healthy way. So for me, what does that look like? For me, that could be exercise. I love long walks. I've been walking all day and I will walk home. Chin-ups. Solid exercise. Maybe taking like a fighting class or two, which kind of feeds into the whole safety thing. So those are practical ways to vent. Other ways are these videos, which I swear to God, if anyone watches them, I love you. Like, I love you for watching an hour and a half of me rambling about my anger. I love you. Thank you for watching. But this is an excellent way to just get stuff off my chest. And, it's not just talking into a phone to the internet and creating a pseudo podcast, but it's also talking to the people you love. I called my sister today and I told her about all the stuff that's happening with me, and I felt better. I read her some of my poetry. I read her the text message I sent my aunt and uncle. Bless her heart, she made me feel better. I chilled with my friend today, one of my newer friends that I met here in New Zealand. I talked to him about what's going on. And we're newer, so he had less deep stuff to say about it, but man, he's sage. He has good stuff to say about it. So that was helpful, and I felt listened to, and I felt acknowledged and validated. So yeah, let's walk to the top of Mount Eden, and I will show you the view from the top as a way to finish out this video. And as we do that, I'll just think about some closing thoughts. It will get dark though, so bear with me. This is a pseudo podcast. Look pretty. Look at this pretty design. This is a speed bump, but they were like, let's make it pretty. Pretty. It's getting real dark. But look, moon. Man, I wish you could see how gorgeous this is. Look, lights, city lights. And that's where I was. I was just lying on the ground there. That's so creepy. If I do this, you can kind of see me, but all you get is the Mario nose. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gotta make sure I don't fall off the tracks. Oh, it's so dark. I'm not gonna put the light on. It gives me a migraine. Yeah. I can also just cut this part out, but LOLs. Moon. You can't see it right now, but there's a giant fucking crater here up on Mungafao, on Mount Eden, and it's really cool. This was one of the first places I ever Sky Tower. One of the first places I ever came to by myself here in Auckland. Actually, it was the first place. I remember it was my first week in Auckland, and I said, hey, look at that mountain. I can see that mountain from my house. I'm gonna go explore that mountain. Oh, the city is so gorgeous. It's not, it looks like shit on the phone, but I really hope that you can experience this with me and listen to how impressed I am by it. I'll show you a better view when I get up there. I also just realized this is gonna be a YouTube video, but it's in portrait mode, but I don't give a shit. Man, this is some raw, off-the-cuff shit. Mount Eden was the first place I really came to. It was the first place I came to by myself. And hi.
Hello, it's a person.
Oh, thank you.
We cannot see anything.
I know, it's really dark. They should put some lights here. Actually, no, it would ruin the vibe. Be safe getting down. Manic bunch. You put the lights here. Anyway, this was the first place I came to by myself, and I fucking love it up here. This place really is sacred, this ground. I don't know if that's like a dormant volcano or whatever, or if a meteor struck it, but it's really cool. I love it up here. I come here whenever I feel stressed out, whenever I'm really angry. Full circle, topic of the video. And I come here for the view. I come here for the climb. Just coming all the way to the top. It's like a little mini mountain. It's easy to climb. And I come here for the view. And I come here to, like, every time I come here, it's like a renewal. It's like a refresh. It's a refresher. It's a reminder. Oh my God, I'm getting more and more excited as I walk towards this gorgeous view. But it's a reminder of why I came to this beautiful fucking country and this beautiful city. Like, look at that. Complete darkness. I'm gonna put in some like Subway Surfers footage or something because this is not visually stimulating at all. But look at that. Look at it. Look at that. That's Auckland. This is the city I live in. Can you see it? Barely. I'll include some like landscape footage, although I don't think it's gonna be much better. Listen, here's the thing, okay? I know it's complete darkness now, but hear my voice. Feel me through your speakers. If you do not control anger, it will control you. A very wise friend of mine who can kind of be a bit of an asshole sometimes, love you with all my heart, but you know how to push my buttons. But there's a reason that we are still friends 10 plus years, and it's because I love you, okay? Point being, holy shit, did you know that the bridge that like goes outside of Auckland has crazy lights on it? Do you see that? Do you see that? Look, you definitely see that. Look at that. What the heck? How much do you think that cost? And Auckland wants to fucking propose budget cuts that, like, Auckland City Council needs to save $400 million. You think we have money to run those lights? It's fine, I'm not complaining, they're beautiful. Anyway, as I yell to you from the top of Mount Eden, aka Mungafao, as I stare out at this gorgeous, gorgeous city that I get to now call home. Hell yeah. that's all I wanted to say. Oh, there's people coming. That's my journey with anger. I know what I'm going to do going forward to change that. I don't want this relationship that I have with anger anymore. It does not serve me. It is gone. It no longer serves me. Okay. So I have a solid action plan to change that. I'm really grateful to be here in this beautiful city. And being here in New Zealand, for me, is about self-growth, personal betterment, change. When my friend pointed out to me that I needed to change, I took it seriously. I took it very seriously. And I'm doing it. And I will change. I mean, I have been changing, but I will change this specific thing I have with anger. And I'll be a stronger person for it. So thank you for listening. I love you. Take care of yourself. And until next time.
This is April from several hours in the future. I'm chewing on ice because I like chewing on ice. McDonald's was not closed. Yeah, McDonald's was not closed. Blessed end to the night.